Now for the final word on all the biggest moments of Week 15, according to our 3 Hall of Famers. You know them, you love them, Deion, Shannon, and LT. Gentlemen, I'm going to need a roadmap to figure out what's going on over here. You're in on some teams, you're out on some teams. This one, we don't know what he's doing every week.
Yeah.
You're rock, paper, scissors for who you love. So we're going to find out tonight who all of these guys are in on and out on.
I'm consistent with my love.
Oh, are you?
Mm-hmm.
What's love got to do with it? Steelers hosting the Patriots. Ben Roethlisberger, you guys, coming off a rib injury he suffered in that.
There wasn't nothing wrong with Ben. Y'all know that. Y'all need to stop.
He threw for 2 touchdowns, including one in the second quarter to Antonio Brown.
Rib look fine to me.
Great to me.
Patriots. Some uncharacteristic mistakes in this one, you guys. Midway through the fourth, Brady floats this one off his back foot.
That's the Joe Hayden I know. That's the Joe Hayden I know.
Brady would get another chance, though. 2 minutes left. Whoop. Julian Edelman.
How can you allow a man to run straight down the seam
I don't know
at that time
what
of the
42 was doing. They were playing cover 2 time, and he went to cover grass.
Well, we got a holding call on second down in the red zone. Patriots' 14th penalty in this game.
You see Tom Brady falling away from that contact, LT? They hit him. Man, 40 years old. Who's going to take a hit at 40?
There's more falling away.
You saw it.
Yeah.
Brady's passing complete. Steelers win this one 17-10, snap their 3-game losing streak. Patriots fall to 3-5 on the road this season. Tom Brady, and what do you call him, Deion? And them? Has been good in the not been good in the red zone. Excuse me. His completion percentage and touchdown percentage are the worst of his career since 2013, and passer rating is his lowest since 2015. Here he is after the loss.
Obviously, not playing well enough to win, and can come in a lot of different, ways, turnovers, and just missed opportunities. I think that's what it comes down to. Too many plays where we got opportunities to do stuff with it, and we don't. So it's football. I mean, wish outcomes were different. Obviously, this week, last week, but just have to get back to work.
There was, sink or swim, whatever you want to call me. There's some decisions need to be made. Some guys, we all need. Are we going to step up and play? Are we going to come together as a team? Are we going to kind of divide each other? What's going to happen? Who knows? And this is going to be a great challenge for us at home against, like I said, a team that is always one of the best. And so I thought guys answered the bell today.
So here's a look at the AFC playoff picture. Patriots, Steelers hold the 3 and 4 seeds respectively. Chiefs, Texans are the other 2 division leaders and sitting in the top 2 spots. Chargers clinch the playoff spot on Thursday and hold the 5 seed. Ravens currently in that 6th spot. So, Deion, you've been standing up for the Patriots all season long. They lose on the road. This is a rare loss for them. They now are not going to get a bye. In fact, they've never made it to the Super Bowl under Belichick without a bye. Are you still riding with this team?
I'm going to ride with them, but I don't have a seatbelt on. Just in case. So you jump out of there.
This team isn't the team that I love, number one. And you alluded to this earlier this season. I love Gronk. I think only Kelsey and Kittles may be the only tight ends that can play with Gronk in the NFL. I think this is his last year with this team because the productivity, the injuries are mounting. In red zone, that's where Gronk is the man. And you see his passing efficiency and rating in red zone is not adequate for Tom Brady. They're not the same team. They're making too many foolish mistakes, holding here, blowing coverages.
14 penalties.
Blowing coverage, that's not indicative to who they are. I felt like until this week, they could just get it together and they could ride on into the sunset like the Patriots normally do. Even though they're 9-5, that's not good for them, but it's good for the NFL. But they're not the same team. And I think this is Gronk last season with this team, although he still is one of the best.
But think about this, though. Who are they, guys? When we think about the Patriots right now, who are they? We used to Gronk, Edelman, these guys, none of them have been consistent. And I think this year they tried to rely on the run game to kind of stabilize the offense with Michelle. He got hurt. So it kind of threw him in a flux. And so now they're just scrapping to put something together on offense. And that's why we see the inconsistency from this team. When they play at home, they play well. When they play on the road, they don't play so well. And I think that's just a product of where they are right now. They don't have an identity.
The two big keys, Gronk and Coach Belichick saw this thing early. He tried to move Gronk to the Lions for a second-round draft pick. He said he was going to retire, and Tom Brady, it was reported that Tom Brady stepped in and intervened. Julian Edelman is not the same coming out that knee injury. He's dropping far too many passes, more passes than we've seen him drop in the past. Also, you mentioned Sonny Michel. As soon as they started to get the running game going somewhat, he got injured, set him back. Defensively,
there you go.
They normally, now they would always give up a bunch of yards, but they don't let you get the ball into the end zone. They're not the same team. They can't consistently get to the quarterback. But I don't know if you saw it. Tom Brady's throwing a lot off his back foot because he's 41 and he doesn't want to take that shot to the mouth. You look at this. You tell me this is Tom Brady. Look at this. That's not Tom Brady.
That's a rush.
Okay,
rush,
that wasn't the only one.
That's not the one. We got two. We got a couple more. Run it. Keep on.
Shannon, when you hit me when I'm 32 and you hit me when I'm 41, that's a different hit.
That's my
your point, right?
That's my point.
That's a different type
if
of
you
hit.
keep talking about you're going to play till you're 45, if you don't want to take that shot to the chops at 41, you're not going to want to take it at 42, 43, 44.
So what are you saying?
So stop fooling yourself. Look at that production number in the red zone. There's a reason why those numbers are down.
That's not all of him. That's everybody. That's Gronk. That's Edelman. That's the play calling. That's everything. Offensive line. Yeah. Where I see the inefficiency defensively, man, they used to at least be able to take your best weapon away from you and just stifle you doing something. I would have never guessed a Belichick-led defense is going to give up over $1 to the third-string running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. That would never happen.
I didn't know you. Who is this dude?
Who are you? Who is you?
He was productive today. He got it done. Speaking of getting it done, it was a great game on Sunday night. Eagles at the Rams. Carson Wentz ruled out of this game because of his back.
You ruled out in a minute.
So Nick Foles steps in.
I ain't trying to say that, I'm saying it. Foles ball.
Jared Goff didn't have a great week last week.
Or the week before that.
Have a real good
Before
one.
that. Let's see how he does tonight. And back. Intercepted. 6th interception in the last 3 games. Next Rams possession after an Eagles turnover on downs. Goff is sacked by Fletcher Cox for the loss of 8. So Rams settle for a field goal.
Is a grown man out there.
Yes.
Ensuing Eagles possession, 3rd and 5. Foles hits a familiar target. Alshon Jeffrey.
That always does so well, man. Throw the ball up, give his receivers an opportunity to make a play.
So 3 plays later, 1st and goal. Josh Adams. Whoop. Eagles lead this one 13-10. So Adams liking what he's seeing.
That's a quarter.
3rd quarter now. Gurley nursing an injury. He would miss some time in the 3rd quarter.
Hey, dude, Shannon talking about you.
I ain't say that, dude.
Nick Foles.
How do 2
airs it
people get
out.
behind 3 guys?
How does he make that catch? Deion, how does he make that catch?
That's guessing. That's guessing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's DBs back there guessing, not playing the coverage that's called. That's straight out guessing. This rabbit foot is falling off these Rams, man.
Eagles leading this one 20-13. Carson Wentz liking what he's seeing.
He ain't really liking what he's seeing.
Well, he's pretending he's a good actor then. We are in LA.
There you go.
Rams ensuing possession. Gurley back in the game, 3rd and 1. Tries to throw, intercepted.
Goff, don't make a bad situation worse. Just eat it and punt the ball.
Let's take another look at how this went down. So Senator John Sullivan steps on Goff's foot.
That means that heat is coming. He didn't step on his foot intentionally. That heat is coming up the middle. So he's trying to brace himself, got his stance a little wider, stepped on the quarterback's foot. That man right there made that whole play.
Eagles ball. Wendell Smallwood rushes in from 4 yards out. So we're Eagles leading this one 30-13. Sean McVay.
Hey, what's really going on?
Yeah, not loving that. So 4th quarter, Eagles ball still leading 30-13. Nick Foles intercepted.
Hey, let me tell you something. You keep playing with the key if you want to. 21 reasons right there, baby. You keep playing with fire if you want to. You're going to get burned.
Good number, Deion. Later in the 4th, Rams still trailing. Reynolds What appears to be a 34-yard touchdown. Upon further review, though, Reynolds would be ruled down on the 1.
Sorry.
2nd and goal.
I'm going to play fantasy next year with Sean Gurley on my team.
So now, cutting the deficit, only trailing by a score. Eagles possession, punting it to the
Once he
Rams.
looked up there and did that, I already know something bad was going to happen, LT. I knew it.
Why you say that?
Because he looked over there and said, yeah,
Why you say he looked? Oh, Lord.
see?
JoJo fumbles, Eagles recover.
I feel sorry for him.
For what?
I've been in that situation. I ain't do that, but I've been in that situation.
I'm with Deion on this one. We have feelings, Shannon.
I feel
You
sorry
don't.
for him. You know Shannon, no.
I'm like you, Sharpe, big face.
Jake Elliott lining up for the 53-yard field goal. Misses.
You saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance. So Rams take over on downs. The Rams get it to the Eagles, 18-5 play. So 2nd and 10, 4 seconds left. Incomplete. Eagles win this one 30-23. So with the Eagles win, they remain in the hunt in the NFC playoff picture.
Bears got a
Saints,
chance.
Rams, Bears hold the top 3 spots and have clinched their
Everybody
division.
Don't have to go through the Saints
The Vikings
Cowboys
coming on around the mountain when they
leading
come.
this one.
at home.
Seahawks, Vikings are the wild cards, according to that. So Jared Goff was in the MVP conversation just a few weeks ago, but
That's over.
look at how he's played in the last 3 games as the Rams have gone 1-2 against the Lions, Bears, and Eagles. So Shannon, what happened to the Rams?
Well, I mean, he's turned the ball over, but their defense hasn't been as good. I don't think, Tom, you and I, we were talking about it off camera. I don't think their defense has ever lived up to what we thought they would be, especially acquiring Talib. Now, he did get hurt early, but I've been very disappointed in Ndamukong Suh because I thought pairing him with Aaron Donald, putting him next to Aaron Donald, see Aaron Donald work, and have everybody, Aaron Donald. Yeah. Man, I'm tired of y'all talking about him. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show you that I'm in Ndamukong Suh. I was the 2nd pick in the draft, and I got a boatload of money at one point in time. I'm going to show you. I just haven't seen it materialize, so I'm very disappointed in the D.
Well, I think, for me, yes, their defense has struggled, but their offense has always been able to overcome that and mask the problems that they have had on the defensive side of the ball. But I really think the problem with their offense, they miss Cooper Kupp. Why? Because Cooper gave them those easy possessions, those easy catches. The 2nd and 5, he get the easy first downs to keep those drives moving. They don't have that no more. They don't have a guy like that. And everything with them now is down the field. It's down the field.
You think God's forcing it, hence the interceptions?
Absolutely.
LT,
Cooper Kupp
I like that.
was critical for them.
I like what you're saying. To me, this offense, if you don't put up 20 or 30, the defense isn't going to be there.
Right.
I think they're built to play with a lead.
A big lead.
Yeah.
Because you got corners that take risks. You got safeties that, they're not great, but they're really good.
Yeah.
And they're not ready to play a game play by play and stay intently focused throughout the whole game. I'm also disappointed not only in Ndamukong Suh, but all the defensive linemen. Well, what Aaron Donald is contributing up the middle, everybody should eat, especially both the ends. You should be eating. This man is getting so much push up the middle. He's being double teamed. Therefore, you own a one on the outsides and you can't win. Yeah. Not only that, you got 2 of the best corners in the game as well, so you got time.
Credit to the Eagles, though. Played a good football game tonight. They're right back in the mix for that wild card in the NFC. Seahawks, Vikings currently hold those spots. But you guys, Nick Foles, will he lead them back to the postseason?
See, that's the problem. I feel like he could, but when he does, what do you do with Foles? Because
what do you do with Wentz?
Wentz.
Yeah.
No. What do you do with Foles? Wentz ain't going nowhere. That's the franchise player.
Right.
What do you do with Foles? Do you package him and go get a 1 for him? Because you can't just keep him there idle.
No, he ain't going to stay there idle.
Exactly. So you got to maximize his worth and get what you can for him. Because he's a starter in our game. With all of the horrific quarterbacking we're seeing, this guy's a starter in our game.
I agree.
Will he get them back to the postseason? You think so?
No.
No?
I think that loss to Dallas last week, getting swept by Dallas, I think that really hurt them. But they've blown some games. They had a 17-3 lead at Tennessee. They lose that. And they had a big lead at Carolina. They lose that one. You can't, in order for you to be the team you think you're going to be, you can't lose games like that.
All right, we're going to take our first break. But the Ravens, Colts, and Titans are locked in a battle for that AFC 6th seed. But who gets in? Plus, the Bears, they knocked off the Packers to secure their first division title in nearly
I think it's a tie right now. Did you think it's a tie? Him and Donald.
He got 12.5 sacks. He balled and got the call. More on that in a second.
Yeah.
So while Mac dominated personally, it took several pieces for the offense to make this thing work. Jordan Howard up the middle for the game's first touchdown.
And that hole was wide
Then
open.
Tariq Cohen.
I like this little man.
Right?
This little man is really creating more job opportunities for the little man.
With a ton of heart. In the fourth, he hits Trey Burton. So Aaron Rodgers could not match Trubisky's output in the fourth. Picked off by Eddie Jackson in the end zone. He's having a year.
Yeah, that's one more Bama boy.
Snapping that NFL record of 402 straight pass attempts without an interception. So Bears winning this one. So the Bears defense averaging over 3 sacks and 2 takeaways per game this season. Here's a look at the last 4 times they did that, which include a Super Bowl victory and an NFC Championship appearance. So, Deion, is there a team that could give the Bears defense some trouble?
New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
New Orleans Saints in that dome in New Orleans. It's hard to deal with those guys. For one, New Orleans defense can match up pretty well with the Bears, and Drew Brees is not going to consistently turn the ball over. First of all, let me give love to these Bears. 3 sacks and 2 takeovers on an average. That's ignorant.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal. That is dialing it up. That is balling. Hats off to you guys and your coaching staff for what you're accomplishing. But the Saints can test them in every area.
One guy changed the fortune of Chicago, Khalil Mack. He brought everybody up. So now the ball's coming out quicker. You see Eddie Jackson, who's going to be an all-pro, going to the Pro Bowl. Fuller, I think he leads the league in interception. He's going to go to the Pro Bowl. Akeem Hicks, now all of a sudden he doesn't get all the double teams. That's sliding towards Khalil Mack. But I agree with you, Time. I believe New Orleans can get him in that building. And because I don't trust, to be honest with you, I don't trust Trubisky. I saw him last week when they were dominating the Rams, and he kept the Rams in the game by constantly turning it over. He was like trying to outdo Goff. Goff would throw a pick. He like, I'm not going to let you outdo me here. I'm going to throw one right behind you. Yeah. And so I believe that's the weak link. Because they can run the ball with Howard and Cohen. They got nice, solid receivers. Nothing great, but they can make plays. Trubisky is as I think.
So he's the liability.
Yes. I completely agree with both of you. The one problem that I see, if we're nitpicking a little bit with the Bears defense, I think you can run on a perimeter against them, away from Khalil Mack, obviously.
Yeah, because he set the edge real good.
He set the edge well, but the other side, Floyd.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can run on the perimeter, and the Saints, what do they do well? They run on the perimeter. Kamara and Ingram, they can get that done. So if the Bears got to go there, Trubisky in that environment, I think that'll be a tough one. That'll be tough.
God, it's going to be loud.
So I agree with both of you. I think the Saints are the team.
Oh, don't sleep, but look. I know the Rams are falling on a little hard luck. Goff is turning the ball over. They need to get back to running Todd Gurley. The dude is second in the league in rushing, and now all of a sudden you just want to throw him the ball. Turn around and hand it to him. Run the football, Sean McVay. We understand. You're a genius. You can call plays with the best.
Do you think he's thinking ahead, saying, you know what, let me preserve this guy for the playoffs and not overuse him?
Well, you better get home.
That's a good thought.
I'm telling you.
Well, he got banged up tonight. He missed some time with that knee injury, so you might want to really preserve him now at this point.
You better get home field. Because here Chicago's one game behind you. They beat you head-to-head, so you lose another. Guess who jumps into the 2 slot?
That's true.
Khalil Mack, he balled today, so he got the call. Time to go prime time, presented by Geico.
It has to feel good to knowing that you come over there and change the whole thought process, not only as this team, but this defense, man.
You can say that, man, but these guys been putting in work, man, and just coming in and want to be a part of greatness, and that's what it's been.
How far can this team go, man, right now? I mean, this Bears team.
Everybody get on here and say sky's the limit, man, but you just got to keep stacking these wins, learning from wins. And, you're going to see it down the stretch, man. We're not going to really talk about it. We won't forget about it.
Dallas hadn't allowed a rusher of 100 yards since week 3.
Yeah, man. Coach Frank challenged us this week, man. They said those guys don't let guys get over 100 yards. And he charged the O-line, man, and we went out there to do what we do.
Do you feel like you have a team that could get to the playoffs and win?
Yeah, definitely, man. We had that confidence in ourselves that we want to play out and do our thing. So we just keep working right now. Each week, just trying to get one of those.
So we fired the offensive coordinator, and you took that thing for $136 and 2 touchdowns. So how that work?
I got an opportunity out there, Deion, today, man, to get the ball in my hands a bit more today, man. So I had to take advantage, man, and just run crazy. You know how we do it.
Where has this been? It's not that hard.
It's been in the locker room, man. It's been here the whole time.
Good answer.
And, you know, us as players, man, I'm just glad we stuck together and kept this thing as real as we could. You know, we got an offensive coordinator that understands where we're coming from and that believe in us 100%, and we're going to go out there and we're going to balls to wall every play for them.
The Ravens ran all over the Bucs on their way to a win that kept them the 6th seed in the AFC. But with the Colts and Titans also sitting at 8-6, will Baltimore hold on to that spot? Our guys weigh in next.
Okay, class, we have one more speaker left.
Start running.
They playing
Good
the
idea.
Bucs. They playing the Bucs, though. It's okay.
Lamar Jackson tallies 95 yards with his feet on the day. And Gus Edwards racks up 104 and a touchdown for his 3rd 100-yard game of the season.
There's a reason he's rushing for. Yeah, you got Lamar Jackson back there on his own read.
And on the mix. And on the other side of the ball, Ravens' #1 scoring defense comes through with a pair of key stops in the 4th.
James like that bull job.
Hey, James, that's Shannon.
James like that bull job.
Hey, James balling. James gonna get the money. Watch James. Come on, James. Do it for me. Come on, James.
Put that right there.
James.
Marlon Humphrey comes up on that one, breaking up 4th and 4 to seal it for Baltimore and notch Jackson's 4th win as a starter. Titans still fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Eli coming back next.
Taking
Eli,
on
boom.
the Giants. Derrick Henry was feeling himself.
In the dancing move.
Ronnie D. Henry.
Already coming off a historic performance last week, he continues his march. How about that block from Mariota?
Good block.
Right?
You gotta love your quarterback when he block for you like that.
Titans defense. They also did their part.
Man, it's cold out there. They don't want to tackle that big dude.
You heard about having 1,000 yards the next 4 games.
Tennessee's defense forced 2 turnovers.
Oh, who threw that ball?
Hey, that's a great play.
What was that? What about that?
They ain't blocked for Eli.
No one defends Eli more than Deion. 4th and goal.
What was that one?
He hit him in the back. Receiver got to come around him and get there.
First shutout in 285 games.
Come back to the ball, receiver.
Titans win this one 17-0. Cowboys would love to be on the road to Atlanta, presented by Mercedes, taking on the Colts in Indy. Is anyone still listening? Marlon Mack was the Colts' biggest source of offense against the Cowboys. Despite having the 8th-ranked rush defense, Cowboys were unable to slow him down today. What was he doing well today, LT?
Return the offensive line was challenged this week about blocking the Cowboys defense.
Oh,
and responded. So that offensive line did a great job.
Gave that work.
Out to an early lead. Jason Garrett was forced to go for it on 4th 5 times and only converted once.
Meanwhile, Dallas's offensive line didn't show up today.
Ain't blocking nothing. You know what he's saying? Nobody ain't blocking nobody. That's what he's saying.
The Colts said we want that smoke.
4th and 1 pass, batted away. And finally, Dak's pass bounces off the hands.
Dak hit him in the hands. That wasn't Dak's fault.
Cowboys 5-game win
Dak,
streak.
you need to get restored because that thing leaving up front, partner. I can hook you up, Dak.
All right, so here's how this looks. Colts, one of 3 teams sitting at 8-6 in that race for the 6th seed in the AFC. Ravens currently hold that spot. Chiefs, Texans, Patriots, and Steelers all leading their divisions, and the Chargers have locked up a playoff spot after their Thursday night win. So Ravens, Colts, and Titans. Who ends up in the 6th seed, Deion?
I like the Ravens. I like the Ravens because they have one of the best defenses in the NFL. And what Lamar Jackson is doing with the running game is unbelievable. They're controlling the clock because they're not getting off the field because they're running. The running back has 3 straight 100-yard games.
Yep.
Why do you think that happened? Lamar Jackson. And what he's doing, he's not statistically lighting it up in the passing game, but when you combine his cumulative yards, he is balling. You need to stop, man.
Well, you have
So
to.
are we gonna pretend? So we gonna pretend Andrew Luck ain't doing nothing?
Exactly. There you go.
So you just not gonna pretend Andrew Luck?
So Andrew Luck's defense is better than what the Ravens bring to the
Cowboys.
That's the Cowboys. So now y'all want to be the Cowboys. Now you want to ride the Cowboys.
I like the Cowboys.
You just put your foot in your mouth. You
No,
love
I
the Cowboys.
didn't. I like the Cowboys.
That
I don't
ball.
love
But
the
you see who
Cowboys.
Baltimore got to play the next 2 games?
Who?
The Chargers and the Browns. Two hot teams right now.
The Browns ain't hot. The Browns are fortunate. That's a difference.
What about the Chargers? What about old me and LT?
Chargers are all
What
right.
about me and LT?
So how you and LT gonna get in the same car? LT, make sure he in that little motorcycle seat right beside the big motorcycle. Because I'm telling you, if it get tight, he gonna unhook it and just veer off. I'm trying to tell you.
I picked the Chargers.
When?
Early this season.
You picked the Chargers to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You've been on it. Remember? And you're like,
Yeah,
the
he
Super
was.
Bowl's not
He's
tomorrow.
You told us that. We didn't see that.
You saw it. Look, I trust Andrew Luck. 2 games at home in their he's playing unbelievable. I watched him early this year. He couldn't throw the ball 5 yards.
Right.
But as that shoulder got hit, he was checking out everything. Yeah, I thought he was turning the check down Alex.
Why you gotta bring
Okay,
Alex
let's
Smith
go.
in
You
there?
guys gotta
Alex
go
is
back.
hurt, man.
Let's turn our attention back to the Cowboys for a second. Shutout, right? And they've been riding this win streak. They've been hot. Zeke said after the game that this was a loss that's good for them. They're going to come back down to earth.
No such thing.
All right, these are his words, not mine.
Yeah,
They're going to
you're
come
right.
back down to earth. What happened to the Cowboys today?
I think they just got out. They got out physical.
Out physical.
You know, that's what happened. Indianapolis defensive line just totally neutralized Cowboys offensive line, and when you can do that to the Cowboys, it shuts them down offensively because they can't get the run game started. And they threw the ball today 39 times with Dak and only 200 yards. That means a lot of check downs, a lot of
Cowboys are
short
not good
stuff.
playing from behind.
The
They need to get
linebacker
that
coach
lead.
for the Colts was with Jason Garrett for several years.
Right.
He had their number.
Right.
He understood who they were.
Yes.
Therefore, you got to look into that crystal ball as well. Oftentimes, when we see something that shouldn't happen and happens, it has a lot to do with coaching and schematically thinking way ahead of the schedule.
I love how the Colts have built this team. Early on, Ryan Grigson, the former GM, he wanted all these shiny toys. Let's go get some more receivers. Let's go get Frank Gore. Let's go get Andre Johnson. Okay, well, who's going to block for Andrew Luck? Now look what they've done. First round pick, Ryan Kelly at center. Quentin Nelson, I know he's a rookie, might be the best guard in football. Costanzo at left tackle. So now we're going to protect the money. We got to protect the money in the ball. Stop hiring all these cashiers.
That money ain't been back there. That money ain't been back there.
He's back
But
there
that money hadn't been back on the field in a while.
That's
We
why,
talking,
though.
he,
Money wasn't even there last year.
That's why, though.
We ain't talking about last year. I don't know about last year. I wasn't even here last year either. But I'm here today. Oh, look, getting it to him. Now, let me get it straight now. You got the best running back in football. You got the hottest receiver in football. And you got a hot quarterback. And you couldn't give me 1 point?
That's right.
What?
I don't know what happened.
Is that the right quarterback?
Who? Dak?
Oh, yeah.
What, we just throwing roses and blowing kisses to Dak last week?
No. You were.
Dak almost threw for 400 yards last week.
He
Thank
threw
you,
for
LT.
55.
Make sure you get over here now, LT. Just once in a while. Just get over here once in a while. LT.
Dak is the right
LT.
quarterback.
Me and you was together before they came.
I got you.
Oh, look at this. By the way, they're so quick to get out on us, aren't they?
But
I'm
here's
just letting you know.
the thing. This is what should call you concerned. You saw Dak Prescott throw for 455 last week, 3 touchdowns. Amari Cooper go for 217, 3 touchdowns. Zeke had 40 touches, over 200 yards, and they needed overtime to get a win. You can't play any better than that.
I don't care what they need to get it. A win is a win.
Okay, what they doing today?
They lost.
You're not worried about the Cowboys.
I'm not worried about the Cowboys.
Losing is one thing.
Never mind.
I wasn't worried about the Cowboys before the game started.
You got to say that scheme today.
Nah, I ain't got to say
you
nothing.
don't go from putting up all those points and all those
I ain't
yards
gotta say
to
nothing.
not scoring a point
Hey,
today.
when he
That's
turned his
scheme,
mouth up
man.
like that, you can forget it. He ain't even listening to you.
All right, let's take another look at some
know him.
Sunday night football.
know
Eagles
him.
taking on the Rams. Jared Goff, 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions in the last 2 games.
No, stay down.
Jared Goff don't look the same.
Yeah, didn't get much better today. His second
It's a bad
interception in the game.
situation
Eagles
worse.
would add a touchdown to their lead,
Oh, see,
30-13,
right there, so you
fourth
hear me
quarter.
that time?
He was looking
Eagles
over there to check to see
punting.
which way the return was.
Natson returns the punt and fumbles without being touched. Poor guy. Deion and I feel bad
Yeah, I
for him.
feel
Shannon
bad.
doesn't care.
Shannon don't care.
Eagles recover, would go on to win. Here's Sean McVay after the loss.
Notice.
You lean on each other, your coaches, your players, everybody staying connected, making sure that they understand that it's not about one man, it's about all of us staying together, looking at what we can do to be a part of the solution for the unit, for the team. And that's exactly what we'll do. We got a lot of resilient people in that locker room that I fully believe in, that believe in each other. 2 games are not going to define our season as long as we don't allow it to. And I believe that we won't, but we've got to find a way to get better in a hurry, and it starts this week.
Coach always say next man up, man. I mean, last year around this time it started for Nick, so hey, as keep continuing, man. LA's good luck for Nick.
I was about to say, it started here. He went on a type of run. Now that he's in there, it looks like he's going to be in there for the rest of the season. Do you think you guys can do enough to get into the playoffs?
We just kind of control what we can control. Just finish these last. We got Houston up this week. Just finish these last 2 games. We got Houston up this week, so we're just trying to stay in the moment. We got Houston up, so that's what we focus on.
Big win for them on the road. So here's a look at the NFC playoff picture. Saints, Rams, Bears hold the top 3 spots and have clinched their division. Cowboys still lead the NFC East despite that loss today and currently hold the 4 seed. Seahawks, Vikings are the wild card.
Let the Vikings get in if you want to.
They won't.
Coming up on Game Day Prime, Kirk Cousins was
here to do just that.
Pretty good Monday night affair from the NFC South. Saints, Panthers. It's going to decide a lot of fantasy football matchups. What do you think decides this one?
You know what? I'm really looking at Cam Newton. I think the Carolina Panthers have struggled because he's struggled. He's the guy that, brings that energy, that swag. He hasn't been wearing the same suits. No. He has none of that. He's been normal. And I'm like, what's going on, Cam?
MJD, I thought he was playing his best football this year.
Well,
That's what he says.
Right after that, it started going downhill. So we need him to get back to running the ball, playing his best football, throwing dimes, and losing Greg Olsen hurts. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going with Cam and McCaffrey.
Okay.
It's all on the running game. Cam is going to have to make some plays with his legs. McCaffrey's going to have to run the ball. You're going to have to break some tackles. You got to keep Drew Brees in that offense on the sideline. That's the only way you're going to beat them. Division game, they know each other well. I'm looking forward to seeing them run the air out of the football.
You talk about McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara in the game as well. We're going to see 2 of the best dual-threat running backs receiving and rushing the football in this.
Yeah, when you look at both these guys, they do a great job of playing outside the pocket a little bit. They run routes like receivers. And it's amazing to see that, but McCaffrey's done a great job of carrying the load as well.
That's just a little taste of what you will hear on the pre-Monday Night Football edition of NFL Total Access, part of your Monday lineup right here on NFL Network starting at 7 a.m. with Good Morning Football. We'll see you at 6 p.m. Eastern for a 2-hour edition of NFL Total Access.
Time now for We Live for This, presented by Pepsi.
3rd and goal, Detroit. Stafford turns, gives to Zenner. Head down to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
Buffalo down by 6. Allen takes a look, fires it downfield. Foster makes the catch at the 5, heading into the end zone. Touchdown! And the crowd begins to celebrate as the Bills are about to snap a 2-game losing streak. Shotgun snap, pitch slant, caught by Boyd. Touchdown! Bengals! Some Chad Johnson-like Irish dancing. Here's a toss sweep. He's to the 10, the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown! Bengals!
You're down by 7. You got to punch it in here. Johnson fires it out. It is caught. Redskins touchdown.
They showed some heart and some pride. Now win this daggone thing.
How big is this get for Dustin Hopkins, looking to get the Redskins to 7-7 and stay in the playoff hunt? The kick is up. The kick is good. Bullseye. And the Redskins win.
Staying alive.
Dolphins taking on the Vikings, looking for a spark. The Vikings shook up the offense this week, firing their offensive coordinator. Dalvin Cook, running game, got back on track.
You know what? I look forward to this game because I knew these would be the results. I knew once Zimmer fired the coordinator, he went in there and said to the new one, run the ball.
Well, Dalvin Cook's happy. 136 yards, touchdown. His first 100-yard game since week 1 of last year.
Yeah, I
so
thought Miami was going to win this game after last week.
On the Vikings defense got a piece of Ryan Tannehill today. Dolphins couldn't generate any offense. Tannehill only completed 11 passes for 108 yards. So the running game and defense came to play. What would Kirk Cousins do? Vikings opening drive hit Stephon Diggs.
That got to be probably the best receiving corps in the game.
Yep. That one's intercepted. This one, whoop. Aldrick Robinson finished the day 14 of 21, 215, and 2 touchdowns and an interception. Is Kirk Cousins the Vikings' biggest liability?
No, he's not the biggest liability, but he's not the biggest
I believe it's the
resource.
only liability.
He's not the biggest resource. The thing is, we never talk about a man's money till his game get funny. But often we've been talking about his financial success during the offseason. But he's not that guy. We just have a game right now that's so messed up and it makes me sick. And I keep saying this, we're paying the darn position. Some of these quarterbacks ain't worth a darn. They're not that type of guy, and they making these crazy money, and now our expectations are going with the money they're making. We pay you 28. We want 28 at you. We ain't getting 28. Matter of fact, we ain't getting 14. But that's what the position requires, and it's not right. It's not fair to all those players.
What do you say? Make a long story short, Kirk Cousins.
But I had to give you the story. I had to give you the story so you know where I'm coming from.
And the reason why this team is virtually the same team from last year, except for the quarterback, right?
Exactly.
Quarterback
They won the division. They won the division last year, and they went to the championship game last year. They might not even make the playoffs this year.
Was the quarterback better last year?
Yes.
For this system?
Well, he played better last year. I don't know if he's better than Kirk Cousins.
What are you doing? Reading magazines over there?
No.
And so for that,
he would always. I just go to the back. The end. Liability.
Come on now. Yeah?
Yeah.
He's not what they thought he was. Okay, to know if he's a liability or a blessing, I think he's a stretching, not a blessing either.
A what?
A stressing, not a blessing. Some people are blessing, some people are stressing.
That's fantastic. I'm using that.
Kirk Cousins, would they do it again? If they had to do it all over, would they do it again?
No.
That's it. That answers your question.
No.
That answers your question.
Speaking of quarterbacks, the Redskins are down to their third quarterback.
He
But
balls,
Josh
too.
Johnson led them to a win over the Jaguars on Sunday. Jacksonville is now 4-10 on the season, so job security is on somebody's mind. But Jalen Ramsey said he is not concerned about his head coach's position. Take a listen.
That's the way to take off. Look.
Are you worried about Doug's job, about a lot of people's?
I don't worry about nobody but myself.
All right, so with that, we go no huddle. We got 2 minutes on the clock. Deion, what's your reaction?
You don't
to
know the
Ramsey's comments?
content. I need to hear the whole question. I like what he said. I admire his honesty. I admire his integrity. But sometimes it don't come out like you really thought it would.
They asked if he was concerned about Doug Marone's job security.
No, he ain't concerned about Doug Marone's job security.
He just, yeah.
Exactly.
Does that bother you the way that he said it?
No, it doesn't, because that's who he is. That's who Jalen is. Jalen is brutally honest. This is today's player, and he epitomizes the attitude of today's player. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
As a teammate in that locker room, you don't care if he just said he's concerned about himself.
Because they know him.
Okay, cool.
Teammates know him.
Boom,
and
that's
first
why
of
we're
all,
moving on.
he's locking it down on the island. So you
don't do that, time. Don't do that.
End of story.
Hey, you ain't gonna talk about Jalen.
No.
You ain't gonna talk about my boy.
Deion, does Aaron Rodgers win another Super Bowl?
No.
Okay, we'll
not
move
in Green Bay. If he gets traded to another team, yes, but not in Green Bay.
He'll win another Super Bowl? Okay, so
LT, you need to stop.
A new coach for to come in there, they might get Lincoln Riley or somebody.
I don't care if they get Abraham Lincoln. He ain't gonna win one in Green Bay. Green Bay? Green Bay so far away from this thing. LT, they the fourth best team in the division.
We talked a couple weeks ago. They got a lot of young secondary guys. Young secondary guys.
You gonna let LT? You gonna let LT do this? So you there, Carolina Williams coach. You gonna let LT do this?
Okay,
you
hold
gonna sit there and let
on.
LT do this?
No, hold on.
See, you know
one second.
You don't treat LT like you treat me.
Has Greg Williams earned the right to keep this position? Browns. Okay, we'll move on. Shannon. Will Joe Flacco be a starter in 2019?
Yeah, not in Baltimore though.
Okay, Deion, which first-time head coach has done the best job between Nagy, Vrabel, and Reich?
Hey, that Nagy is balling.
Okay, this guy's a fool.
I love what that Nagy's doing.
There's a lot happening here. We're just going to go with it and let them have their moment.
Oh, my God.
LT, Derrick Henry, why is he on fire? All the times that was saved by the bell.
Because it's cold outside. Nobody want to hit that.
Is this a fire drill?
20 degrees.
What's happening right now?
20 degrees outside. Don't nobody want to hit Derrick Henry.
What's happening? Seahawks
Who the best rookie coach?
could have clinched a playoff berth with a win over the 49ers, but too many penalties and an overtime field goal kept that from happening. So what happened to Russell Wilson? We'll talk about it next. In San Francisco, Shannon.
You know, the 49ers is a division game. And when you play division opponent, you throw the record out the window. It doesn't matter how bad the team is, because there have been times that we were very good when I was in Denver, and we played the Raiders, who were terrible at the time, and they would give us fits. Sometimes they would beat us.
Seattle beat up on the 49ers earlier this year by a lot.
Exactly. But you got to give Kyle Shanahan a lot of credit, because it doesn't matter the quarterback. He got Jimmy Garoppolo $27 million a year. TJ Beathard comes in there. He's playing well. Now they got this guy I'd never heard of. CJ Beathard, excuse me, and Nick Mullins. Now he's throwing for 300-400 yards a game. This is a good football team. They're only going to get better, but I still believe that the Seahawks will get a playoff spot.
Well, it's human nature to play down to your competition, guys, and that's what's going on. Seattle, as you mentioned, they beat them by a lot earlier. They went to San Francisco thinking, man, they got the backup quarterback in. They got no talent. They got no talent out there.
This should be an easy game, no problem, right?
They played down to their competition, and they got bit today.
They're going to have trouble next week with the Chiefs. They probably going to get the brakes beat off of them. Then the Cardinals, that'll be a U-Haul game. The Cardinals they have 53 U-Hauls in the parking lot. They'll be ready to go. Yep. So they'll win that one. I'm not crazy about the Seahawks.
The Vikings not making it.
I'm not crazy about. I'm not saying that because of the Vikings going to make it. The Vikings going to make it. But I'm not saying that because I'm just not crazy. I love Russ. But I'm not crazy about the Seattle team.
How can you be feeling that way about Seattle and not Minnesota?
I like Minnesota's defense. I like what they're capable of. They just want quarterback decision away from really putting it together like they did today.
And he's going to touch the ball as much as the defense is going to be on the field.
So what you trying to say?
Oh, he'll miss.
Monday Night Football tomorrow. Saints, Panthers down the line. Who wins?
Saints.
How you had to take that long?
Because Cam will be.
Why are you taking that one? You got 10 seconds.
I got the
Saints, that's right. You're Drew Brees fan club MVP. That's right. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week.
Yeah.